Welcome back to Longhorn Hip Hop. I'm JD Harris and this is Release Day, your bi-weekly album review. Today we'll be taking a look at Run the Jewels 2, the latest self-titled installment from the hip-hop duo composed of Killer Mike and LP. The album starts with Jeopardy, a track with a murky beat that builds up to a punch bass, riding clap, and electric guitar with some jazz sounds. Mike and LP basically talk about how cold they are and how they should be seen as top tier in the game, especially amongst duos, and it's hard not to agree with them as Mike goes in angrily on the beat and LP holds his own. The song's a perfect opening piece with aggression, lyricism, and a beat to set the tone for the rest of the songs. Next, we get Close Your Eyes featuring Zach De La Rocha. The track packs a heavy bass beat under a sample instructing the listener to run them jewels fast. Mike talks about issues taking place in the world around him, including injustices in the police departments as well as prison. LP talks about how he hates seeing people that simply stand by while these things are happening and choose to ignore them. The duo talk about being trapped under authority that they don't agree with and instructing the people to be active and aware to these situations. Zach De La Rocha shares in their viewpoints while continuing his objection to social and political injustices. After that, we're given Early featuring Boots. This beat sounds upbeat and almost techno-like before a heavy bass takes over. Mike tells the story of a victim of an unjust traffic stop that takes the turn for the worst when the victim is arrested in front of his son before watching his lady being taken out of the car and seemingly shot, all seen by a bystander who got it on video. LP talks about living around these occurrences and how he doesn't feel like he has control over his own life when the cops are allowed to act above the law that they swear to uphold. Following that, we look at Love Again featuring Gangsta Boo. This song packs a slow, punchy beat with whirring sounds. This track is subtitled Akinyele Back, a reference to Akinyele, who's famous for her raunchy lyrics as an artist, and this song definitely lives up to that name. Mike and LP talk about their new girls and how they're in control as she's in love with their anatomy as well as their arrogance and their personalities. The song's aggressively misogynist before Gangsta Boo comes in to provide the antithesis, commanding her man and how she's the one in charge, reversing the graphic chorus to a women's point of view of the same side of the attitude. Finally, we look at Crown featuring Diane Coffey. On this track, over a bassy beat with pianos, Mike tells a regretful story about selling a woman cocaine when she was pregnant in his hustling days, knowing that it could bring harm, which it ultimately did. And when he went to apologize to her, she told him about the salvation she found in the Lord and tried to direct him the same way. LP shares the narrative from the point of view of someone being involved in violence in their younger days because they were told that it was the right thing to do. Both men share in the thoughts that the chorus is something that there's holding them down, keeping them from picking up their crowns or salvation of their own. Overall, this is a really powerful album. The production's solid. Killer Mike is, well, killer. And LP offers some impressive lyrics of his own. The selling point of this album is the substance that most of the tracks have to them and how the group addresses social issues without sacrificing impressive lyrics along the way. Some of the beats can get a bit repetitive, which is somewhat explainable with mostly all the production being done by LP, and some of the songs can get a little burdened as both artists have tracks where they can outshine the other, which can be a little frustrating to have to switch away from as a listener. As a whole, though, it was still a really impressive album. I have to give Run the Jewels 2 a 4 out of 5 with a decently high replay value. I definitely recommend everyone checking it out.